It's that time again, another episode where I show tips and tricks that you guys used in game. You don't have to have perfect aim to get a lot of kills, you could also use some sneaky tricks. Like this one, it's a bit of an older trick, but I bet 90% of you already forgot it. On B-side fracture, plant a spike just in front of the stairs and then place your sage wall like this. I know you will trap yourself, but for the enemy's perspective, it looks like a normal wall unless. Enemies will not be able to push, and look at this. There's actually a small little gap where you can see the enemies diffusing through. Pretty OP, and it's fun to see players still using the OG tricks. Well played, Ravester. Before this clip, I never knew there was a gap in the roof of heaven. But apparently there is, and you could throw things like your gecko flash through it. Well played, Risiu senpai. Now look at this clip. Pause. What will happen next? Rage Mage gets an ace easy peasy, he gets 4 kills and he dies, or he gets killed by his own teammate's rage grenade. I'll show you what happens in a few seconds, but first, you probably like skins, right? Of course you do, we all like skins, but the problem is that they are often very expensive. But no problem, I might have something for you, and that's the sponsor of this video, buff.game. This is how it works. When you download the app and let it run on the background, you will earn buff points by playing your favorite games, like Valorant, Counter-Strike or League of Legends. And once you earn some points, you can spend them in the marketplace to buy things like Valorant gift cards or a lot of other things. And that's it. It's so simple, right? You're gaming anyway, so why not use Buff to earn some extras? Buff is built on a trusted Overwolf platform, so it's safe to use. But if you are wondering, Buff is making money through paid subscriptions and ads, so no fishy things like crypto mining. There's also a Buff rewards track where you could claim cool prizes for free, or if you want to, you could upgrade to the Buff Battle Pass to unlock even more prizes. And there are way more things you could do with Buff, like record your gameplay, share them with friends, so what I would say, download Buff with the link in the description. It's completely free, so try it out today. And now let's see what happened with Rage Mage. Ah, 4 kills, never lucky. Let's do a funny sky trick. Some people didn't know this, but if you use your bird and activate the flash immediately, it will flash shorter than if the bird is flying for a while. With this knowledge, you can do a fun trick. If you don't have the space to let your bird fly, you could aim up, down really quick, and this way the flight duration of your bird is longer, so the enemies will get blinded longer. Honestly, a pretty cool trick. I never seen someone using it. Well played, Vika. This next trick is not a good trick, but it's a very disrespectful trick. What you have to do is simple. With Neon, stun the enemies and then run towards them. Because you can run really quick with your E and the enemies are stunned, it's actually easy to knife them. Just look at this clip from our Irish friend, Some Egypt.
I'm gonna get a nice kill.
Honestly, I would be so tilted, and this is not the only time he used this trick. Alternatively, in eco rounds or half buy rounds, you could use this trick with the shorty, and then it might actually be a valid strategy. Let's do a Gecko trick now. There's one very strong combo you could use with Gecko. If you have an harbor in your team, communicate with him, say that he has to smoke the site, and then let your yellow blob diffuse or plant the spike inside the harbor smoke. Because of course the enemies can't really shoot through the smoke, it's an easy way to plant the spike. Well played, little guy. Anyway, now look at this one. Nice. If you ever want to go up a rope, it doesn't hurt to use your satchel like this. The enemies will get bounced back and it will mess up their spray. Now a jet tricky. Sometimes you're stuck in a corner with no way out because the enemies are watching you, and then you could smoke and dash away. But that's boring, so here's another thing you could do. Instead of dashing away, smoke and dash on the same spot. When you do this, the enemies see the smoke and hear the dash of course, so there's less chance that it will check the corner. Easy way to tilt the enemies. Did you know that this waterfall on Pearl is wallbangable? Karim Abdul-Jabbar knew that. And about getting the enemies without them seeing you, here's a cypher trick you can use on any map. When you think an enemy is around the corner, use your cage just in front of the entrance. Activate it, walk a bit forward and then shoot through your smoke. Who knows, sometimes you might get an easy enemy. Triggered. Now a cool omen tricky. If you want to push B on split, a smoke over here could be very useful. Use your smoke in the air and then teleport on the boxes on the left. While the smoke is coming down, you slowly get vision of heaven and the enemies might not expect you on the boxes. Alternatively, you could also use this trick for backside like Some Egypt.
Look at this. Oh, your big brain.
That omen trick was too complicated. Well, here's a simpler one. Just look at the play from Stone Chestplay.
You will not.
Well played, and keep in mind when using this trick, because you flash first, the enemies will not hear your shroud steps. And while we're on Icebox, if you know an enemy is standing roughly over here, simply throw your KO flash through nest and it will flash the enemies. It's so simple sometimes. Well played, Gord.
I hate
Whoa! You're better! You're better!
Yes, Gord, you're better, my friend. Okay, when I showed this trick about 6 months ago, I never thought someone else would make a kill with it. But apparently, Crazy Shotgun pulled it off. On paper, the trick is very simple. You use your Yoru clone and you hide inside your own clone. But in reality, the enemies will have to be pretty blind to not notice you. So style points for you, Crazy Shotgun. You hear that? The enemy was even shooting on this Yoru, but still didn't see you. About Yoru, let's do a trick with a higher success rate now. If you're ever in a half-buy round and you got your ultimate ready, I would really recommend to buy a shorty, use your ult to push the enemies, kill them, pick up their gun and teleport away. And just like that, you have an advantage over your enemy, so easy win.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god.
Also, did you spot that? Overkill Entry used the trick where if you place your clone down first, you'll be able to place your gate crash higher up. But you probably already knew that trick, right? I showed it like 5 times before. Luckily, this trick never gets old. Holly also made some nice kills with it. You know what trick did get old? The teleport trick. No more bind, so no more teleport tricks. Oh no. But no worries, we got new tricks instead, like this gecko trick. When you use your ultimate fishy, all the enemies will hear that you used it. So this is a nice way to play with the enemies. You can use your ultimate and then cancel it immediately. The enemies might push you and easy kills for you. Of course, in most situations, it's better to just use your ulti, but it's a cool trick to use so now and then.
Clutch.
Now look at this clip. What is Holly doing right over here? That's right, when you use your aftershock with breach, you could use your flash close to your aftershock, and because the visuals of your aftershock are so extreme, the enemies might not see your flash. One tip though, if possible, try to use your aftershock and then your flash in the middle of your aftershock. This way it's even harder for the enemies to spot it. On ascent in the post plan, try to jump on these boxes, and when you hear the enemies are coming, use a smoke on top of it. For the enemy's perspective, it might look like a one-way, but in fact you're on the boxes and you can get some sneaky kills. I know it's a red spot, but hey, sometimes red spots are working.
Faz mesmo, cara.
One enemy remaining.
Visible died, but in the end he got the round and that's what counts. And while we're talking about extra red spots, here's one that's a bit less known. And because of this, it might be more effective. On B-side fracture, this often gets walled by a sage wall, right? So what you have to do is use your ulti parallel to the wall, jump on it, smoke the boxes behind your ulti and jump on those. I mean, there's no way that the enemies will expect you over here and suddenly you can get like a 1 versus 5. Well played, bacon pancakes. Oh no, you died, but they didn't have time to defuse, so well played. Don't underestimate this killjoy setup. One Nanos farm in the corner, one in front of the ramp, and your alarm bot in front of it. When your bot goes off, activate your Nanos farms, and for the enemies, it's too late to run back. So they either run into your crosshair for some kills, or they try to run back and die because of it.
One enemy remaining.
Now some tricks about the door on Lotus. When enemies are opening the door, a lot of people would be afraid and walk back a little bit and stand over here. But this way, when enemies are pushing, they will peek you all at once, so you will probably die or either fall back. Instead, you could use this risky but cool trick. When the door is opening, stand against the door and shoot the enemies if you see them. They will probably not expect this, but the cool thing is that you split the enemies. First, you can shoot the enemies on the left side of the door, and after that, shoot the enemies on the right side of the door. This is how it would look like. Well played, Sky Fighter. But now the big question, does he get the ace? Place your bets now. Of course he gets the ace, well played man. And while we're talking about the Lotus door, here's another cool trick you can use. When it's opening, simply use your Omen Flash straight through the hall. The enemies will have no counterplay to this, so easy kills.
All my kills! Where did my kills go? Hello? Fail. Please!
It's time for an OG trick again. Simply place your sage wall like this and you could jump on the wall. Only use this trick when you're certain mid is clear.
You're probably gonna go for res. You're insane.
And while we're on ascent, if you ever want to retake B with Sofa, do you shoot your Recon Dart into boathouse like this? No, stop doing this. Instead, stand in this corner of the lever room, aim at the light brick next to the door and shoot your arrow with full charge and 2 bounces. This way you don't have to peek with your bow in your hand, and while it's flying to boathouse, you have the time to pull out your gun.
There they are.
Oh, this trick in the f***ing boat!
And this is the end of the video. I hope you learned something, and I see you guys in the next one. Peace.